Welcome back to the Pit Stop Ranch Does a Thing. In this video, we are going to the Grand National Roadster Show in Pomona, California, one of the longest running and one of the most important custom hot rod car shows in the nation. I hope you enjoy the video, and this is some of the really cool stuff that we saw while we were there. This is the scene as we entered the fairgrounds. This collection of vehicles was all parked right near the entrance, and we got a chance to start filming right away. And already you see the huge number of people, which created a bunch of challenges when filming. But you know, it's good to see so much interest in our favorite hobby. Here, of course, is Model A with the original Tombstone Model A grill, and a flathead, which of course Model A's didn't come with. There were a lot of cars here, and it was something that was difficult to spend an appreciable amount of time on any single one of them. We'll be going through quite quickly. We did not cover every car in very much detail. It was a challenge to fit everything in. It's really, to do it justice, it's really a two-day trip. Of course, I was expecting a lot of early Fords, and I focused heavily on the early Fords because of my recent acquisition of a couple A bodies and bits and pieces to build them. So I gravitated to them and checked them out quite a bit closely. This Impala wagon is just absolutely gorgeous, and one of the favorite cars that we came across at the show, running looks like the original 327. Very beautifully done, very well done, very tastefully done. Worth definitely whatever the owner has put into making such a beautiful car. Now, I was expecting a lot of early Fords, and come to find out, a whole building and surrounding area was set aside just for air-cooled VWs. And man, they did show up. There are a lot of beautiful air-cooled VWs here. I was pleasantly surprised with this, and did enjoy it. Seeing every iteration or every variation you can have. I mean, here's a real Baja Beetle, perfectly restored Beetles, heavily modified, every iteration, sand rails, you name it, it was here. Very, very nice, very done. Here is actually one that competed, or I think has competed in land speed racing. So of course it is instantly a near and dear to my heart, as that is one of our focuses presently is land speed racing. This is an air-cooled VW I've never seen before. It's probably a Europe only. I am guessing it is based on the Type 3 chassis, of course. Now, of course, buses have become incredibly popular recently, or well, not all that recently, the last 20 years. And once again, the more windows you got, the more valuable it is. This particular one's got to be astronomically valuable, as beautiful as it is, and well restored as it is. Very, very roomy, very beautifully done. Here's an interesting crew cab pickup version of the bus pickup chassis. Another 23 window, an off-road air-cooled. Oh, and this is a giant Beetle, a scaled-up Beetle. Not too sure the specifics on it. A neat little Carmen Ghia with the racing stripes, probably drag racing. This Buick is another example of one I really liked. It has the nailhead in it. It's a 54. Very beautiful, very well done. Wheels seem a little big for my taste, but I like their design a lot. It is overwhelming just how many really incredibly cool vehicles there are here, customs and restorations and so forth. The humblest of which is probably, well, better than anything that's currently in my collection, and I would be gobsmacked to possess. Everyone who has something there, went there. It's truly an amazing show to behold. so many of these vehicles are not, you know, I don't believe have been entered into the actual competition for the big trophy, the big award. But man, some these cars are just absolutely phenomenal and gorgeous. It's almost a shame how we really didn't have much chance, or we really didn't take as much time on any one of these cars as they deserve, because every one of them has so many details on them, and that adds to the challenge of, or maybe the joy of filming. You're so inundated with unique and cool cars and variations of the hobby, examples of the hobby. Just done. I mean, this is a Hot Wheel here. Yeah, I might even have that Hot Wheel as a child. But just absolute showstoppers everywhere you look. You almost become numb to just how incredible the selection is. Here's clearly a speed racer or a land speed type car. You know, an example of what they actually built and raced in the 30s and so forth. And of course a Hemi powered Model A, so I had to get in and take a lot of footage of it. It's of course right up my alley, since it's basically one of the things I'm building up. Now this is a interesting car. This is actually Ed Escuderian's race car. It's a early supercharger on it, on a flathead. He built this specifically for the racing out at El Mirage and at Bonneville, and really neat little cool car. Now this is a beautiful paint job. This is an incredible paint job, and had to take a minute to do some filming of it. Just beautifully done at that Mark 1 big block. I assume a 409. And you look around and there's just this massive array of early Ford hot rods and customs that are just incredible to look at. You have, here's an Ardent head, blown Ardent head, 32 coupe, 3-window coupe. And it's just gorgeous. The obligatory Chevelle, because we can't go have a show without a Chevelle. Really cool Chevy, like a 54, I think. A window sedan delivery Chevrolet, one of the lowest price Chevys at the time, but a survivor and in great shape. But everywhere you look, and it's neat seeing them with the variety of different power plants. Probably it's interesting because there were a few LS motors, but this one here is just incredible. This is a blown Hemi, but look at those flames. Flame jobs, are as old as anything. Those flames for some reason just look incredible on this T-bucket. Power plant wise, there were a few LSs, but they were dressed up like to look more old school, which I appreciated. There were a lot of Chevy small blocks. That was a very common one. Probably more flatheads, old Ford flatheads than anything. That's great. I love that. And a whole lot of Hemis, 426 Hemis, as well as first generation Hemis, whether it's the DeSoto or the Chrysler Firepower. Now, all of the cars that have very special displays on the carpet, like the last one, I believe those are in competition for the actual big prize. Here is a 65 Riviera, very much done up as a lowrider, with the amazing paint jobs that the best lowriders come with. I think my love for the style and the craftsmanship has been well documented. It's running an original actual nailhead engine in it, which is always appreciated by this gearhead. But yeah, just check out the intricacies of that design, just beautifully done. 57 Chevy Nomad. These are pretty cool cars, of course. Everybody loves a Nomad. Here is another one of our favorites of the show. This is a 59 Impala wagon. It is absolutely gorgeous. My only personal taste that I would have done differently is pretty much I'm not a fan of the wheels. The super low profile wheels on a classic car like that doesn't really work for me. This is a Grand Sport Corvette C2 that's all set up as a race car. It was a beautiful car. I really dug it. It's got the 427 big block race engine in it. Very, very cool. Here we have a Cammer, I don't know, Galaxy 500 Fairlane, Ford Fairlane. There's actually two of them here. There's this burgundy one with a nice mock-up of what the Cammer engine looks like, and then this white one. This is actually a Cammer Fairlane as well. Very beautiful. I dig them both. And once again, more of the sea of 32 Ford or Model A's with 32 grills maybe. Early Fords. I have heard somewhere that there are more 32 Fords registered in California than Ford actually built. Since they only built a few 100,000 of them, you know, it's still quite a few of them registered in California. But it's almost believable the amount of reproduction parts that have been built for this particular kind of car is in Europe is pretty remarkable. This Willys pickup is probably my favorite. I like the trellis frame underneath. It's kind of reminiscent of a Ducati, where you have the visible trellis frame, at least the classic Ducatis. But it was nothing here. It subverted expectations. You have the Hemi V6. You have a Willys pickup. It is just a cool rig. Now, a lot of the cars actually competing for the big prizes have mirrors positioned underneath them so that the judges and spectators can see the undercarriage. And this is because these cars are so well built and so well done that they want to demonstrate that the meticulous workmanship carries on underneath to help to try and differentiate themselves from the other competitors. So that's one thing you should notice. There were two Lincoln, or I recall two Lincoln Zephyrs that we have identified. This is one of them. Beautiful, beautiful car. I really like the color on this one. Now here is a pretty heavily modified, customized E-Type Jaguar. Of course, E-Type Jaguar is one of the sexiest cars ever produced. And with the hood up, you kind of, the line, you don't get to see the lines, but they're showing off the small block Ford they have shown under the hood. Now this is an extremely heavily customized 50 Chevrolet coupe, and so much so I didn't even recognize what it was. I had to look at the card for it to find out that's what it is, but it really struck my eye. I have to say I really like it. We're entering the main hall here. This is where they announce the prizes and have the, I guess you can say, the primary competition. A beautiful Ranchero. It's the history of this show is it started in Oakland in 1950. And then, well, I'm not sure what year, it moved down to Pomona. And originally it was just this building. And if you look at the very early photographs, the interior walls look about the same. You almost wonder if they even bothered to repaint it. But the quality of the cars that come to this event are unsurpassed. And once again, I can only reiterate that the humblest car here, the one that's not even trying to compete, the ones that are just here because this is where kind of hot rodding and customs, kind of one of the granddaddy shows, certainly the most significant show on the West Coast, and it's at the epicenter of car customization and hot rodding culture, kind of where it all started in Southern California. It's a significance to the car community and the car culture can't be underestimated. And clearly it's not just early Fords. I was expecting predominantly early Fords, but you see lots of muscle car era cars like this 70 Camaro, early second gen Camaro of some sort. Just absolute the incredible craftsmanship across the board. It's definitely first world problems where there's so many beautiful things to look at, beautiful cars, incredible craftsmanship. You can't give anything the the level of attention it deserves to really be able to go over. You just continuously walk past car after car after car. That's just mind-blowingly beautiful. I mean, it's almost overwhelming. You almost get numb to the incredible amount of work and effort every single one of these vehicles has and has gone through and experienced. One of the big things for this show is that it gives creators of these cars, the customizers, the shops who build cars like this for a living, a chance to showcase their abilities, their wares, what they can accomplish. And it is a dream to, for a builder to get the invitation to come to show, to even or apply depending upon their status in the field. And so many of them come and looking to drum up business, but also just to be surrounded by like-minded people who appreciate the artistry and the craftsmanship in these vehicles is something that everyone dreams of. And of course, at the Pit Stop Ranch, we're never going to get to this level. Our aspirations are to build the fun stuff we want to drive and drive it. And I want to get to that level of fabrication, or that level of ability, but to actually get to the point where we're invited to go. These bare metal cars are especially noteworthy because Bondo will hide all manner of sins that one can have, and a shiny paint job over Bondo, you can't tell if it's straight metal underneath. So the bare metal cars are especially an interesting treat to look at. Well, there you have it. That was the Grand National Roadster Show in Pomona, California. And I hope you enjoyed it. That, of course, was a relatively small excerpt of everything that was there, to be quite frank. We kind of ran out of steam and wanted to get back to sanding. No, we got hungry and didn't want to eat fair food. Anyways, it was an awesome show. It was well worth the trip and the time, and we had a lot of fun. And I hope you enjoyed our coverage, and if you would, leave a comment what your favorite car that you saw was. And if you want to support us as we continue to grow, please like and hit the subscribe button if you haven't done so already. And until next time, have a rodtastic day.